Hey guys, my name is V and welcome back to my channel. So finally get to talk about Love is Blind. It is here and I'm super excited to present it to you guys. Now, in this episode, we're just reviewing the first two episodes of the series. We are not, and I mean, there should be no spoilers on those comments. So please do not spoil it for the rest of us who have not seen the third or the fourth episode. So in this little segment, we're just going to be talking about the couples themselves. We're not going to be recapping the actual events because they're just in the pods. So we're just going to be talking about the couples and the connections that happened. So with that being said, I just want to start off by saying I'm so confused. The images that we saw or the pictures that we saw of the couples or the people or the cast, my word, I thought they were a lot older looking based on those pictures. It was horrible. But when I actually saw them on film, I was pleasantly surprised. I was like, what is happening? Like, let's take Meg, for example. She looked way older in her picture, contra on film. But with that being said, I definitely don't know who took those pictures, and I am hoping that he gets fired because that was not cute. Anyways, so let's move on and let's talk about the couples themselves. So the first couple we're going to be talking about today is Joey and Monica. Now, I don't know what you guys think about this couple, but for me, I didn't really get that fire, that chemistry, that passion. I didn't get that. I thought that they were really cute. I thought that it was nice that they had so many things in common. They're both family oriented. They both love their families. They both are into swing dance. I definitely love that for them. And I really like that they were able to actually listen to each other, to actively and presently listen and enjoy their conversations. I think that Joey is very open-minded, and the fact that he has already quite a good profile or a good portfolio in remodeling and houses with his dad, and just the fact that he is financially literate and was financially literate at such a young age is quite impressive. Now, when it comes to the style, I don't know, but it's not for me. Those little Hawaiian shirts that he's wearing, I mean, I'm sorry, that is just not for me. Man, maybe Monica loves it. Let's just see. We will see when they finally meet if this is something that she can get with, but it was just not it for me. I was just not loving the Hawaiian getup. It was just weird. And I was just like, wrong timing, dude. We're like in the middle of winter and you're coming here with like Hawaiian shirts. Like, what is this? Wrong place, wrong time. But anyways, on Monica's end or on Monica's side of things, I really think that she is very comfortable with him. I like the fact that she was able to be silly around him, or at least towards him. And she was able to be silly and fun. So that was quite cute. And I really like the part where she was kind of like showing him their family dance or to their family song. That was kind of cute. I have to admit that. It made me smile. So that I really enjoyed that. However, I'm going to start with on the positive. I really like that Joey was open-minded to the fact that Monica dropped everything, her career, to support her family and to take care of her sick grandmother who might possibly have dementia. She never mentioned it, but the fact that she said that some days she just doesn't know who she is and she doesn't know her husband and stuff, I'm guessing that it was dementia. Anyways, so the fact that she just dropped everything just to help out and take care of her grandmother is quite commendable and very amazing. However, there is a but here, guys. I don't know if this is her current situation, but just speaking from experience, that can be very overwhelming on the partner. And let's just say, if she's still taking care of her grandmother, I really think that it's such a lot of work, and it requires so much attention and just requires so much, like, just of yourself, that I think it might actually influence the relationship in a bad way. Now, if you're taking care of someone who is sick, there's emergencies. There's like times where you just have to drop things and just go and take care of them because there might be an emergency. They might have to go to the doctor. They might have to do this. They might need this. So it requires a lot patience, time that could be spent with your partner. And some people are not always supportive. And even if they seem supportive to begin with, it might get a little bit too much for the person because this is time that you could be taking or is being taken away from your partner. And if you're spending less time and less effort on your partner, because it is a lot, guys, just think about it realistically. You're taking care of a sick family member. You're gonna come home. That is your day. That's what you're surrounded by. You're gonna be talking about it a lot because that is what is happening in your life. So of course, once your partner, I mean, after a while, your partner can get sick of hearing that. I mean, let's just talk about something else because this is all that we talk about. But at the same time, that is her life. That is what is happening, that is present. She can't just talk about anything else. So I am definitely rooting for them. I don't see anything that red flaggish on their end at the moment. So I'm hoping that things go well. I'm hoping that she accepts or likes the Hawaiian shirts. But I'm hopeful for this couple and I hope that they actually can make something out of what they have. And I'm grateful that, that there are men out there that are supportive in terms of like women in between jobs, just really like just trying to find their feet. And the fact that he was not judgmental, that he was supportive, that he was, there for her and that, I'm hoping that he understand what that actually means, that he's going to have to take care of her financially if they move in together. He might have to support her. So I'm hoping that he understands what that actually means in practice. So moving on, I think that we've talked enough about Joey and Monica to our next couple. Now, this couple, Taylor and Daniel. I don't have much to say about them. I think that they were cute. I think that they have a lot in common in terms of values and goals, where they want to go with their life, what they want to do. Just the fact that they're both family oriented, which seems to be quite a common theme from the folks here. Is this normal? I'm loving it. And I have to actually admit that this is probably the first cast that we've had where the majority of the cast members have come from a very healthy upbringing and background, except, of course, for Alex and Madison, which we will talk about later. Most of them have actually a good upbringing, not a lot of trauma. So it was refreshing to see that. So the same goes for Taylor and Daniel. I did find Daniel to be a bit boring. I'm sorry, but he seems like a regular guy. And I think that they're really a good match in terms of at least where they see themselves going. But I don't know if they will like each other in real life. I think that he will love her, but I'm not sure about her. And please do not spoil it. So I am excited about this couple. I don't know yet. It was kind of a little bit funny because I don't know if she had a cold or something and her voice was a bit like, off at times. And it was just really nice to see that he was still supportive. It didn't like affect him in any way or negatively. He was still there for her. He was still enjoying the conversation. So that was really nice to see. I really loved seeing that. So I am supportive. I can't wait to see what's coming up next for this couple. And I'm hoping that there are happiness and wedding bells at the end of this one. So let's move on to the couple that was a bit, it was lackluster. Another lackluster couple on the list, Ben and Sarah. Now, the most interesting thing about this couple was the whole conversation about religion. I agree with Ben in this instant because I think that judging religion or faith in itself based on someone else's beliefs or experiences is wrong. And just so you guys know, Sarah is not religious and she is very skeptical about Christianity in itself because of her experiences with her sister, who happens to be lesbian. And I always kind of feel like it is wrong to judge or to make a judgment based on someone else's experiences or on certain, certain people. And I felt that that was what she was doing. I understand that there's a lot going on in this world, but at the same time, I agree with Ben that you have to make faith your own. You can't base it off of someone else, because at the end of the day, we are all humans. There's nobody that is perfect. Those priests, pastors that she mentioned, that that we've heard on the news, we know that they're human, they're not perfect, and you shouldn't base your faith off of those people. Your faith should be your own, and it should be between you and God. That's if it's your thing. If not, respect. So, regardless with that, I did kind of really like the fact that, Ben did say that he's religious and he is someone that goes to church weekly, and that is something that he wants to do with his partner. He wants to carry on that tradition. And that is something that is really important for him. And I really enjoyed and liked seeing the fact that, that she was also open minded to it and said that, if they accept me and if I see that they're not, the people that I've, had previous encounters with where they were hypocritical and just judgy, then yeah, I'm open to it. Why not? So that was quite nice for now. Now, I cannot move on without saying I have seen Ben's face it everywhere. I know that there is drama with him or involving him, but I'm trying really hard to stay away from it. I'm trying really hard to just like keep focused and like be as neutral as possible. Maybe towards the middle of the season, then I will check out the drama. But for now, I want to be as neutral as possible and base my opinion just on the show itself. So that is Ben and Sarah. Other than that, there was nothing interesting about this couple, lackluster, for at least for the moment, not really anything that stood out. So let's move on to our next couple. Sorry, guys, if I'm looking that way, it's because my notes are there, just so I don't screw up any names here, guys. So we have our first triangle, which is Brittany, Devin, and Virginia. Same thing goes for with what I said previously. Virginia is a knockout. She's a gorgeous girl. And from the pictures, of course, she was still pretty, but I just feel like it didn't do her justice. And the same thing with Brittany. I think Brittany is a gorgeous girl. And from that picture, it just didn't do her justice as well. So I was really pleasantly surprised and impressed that, these people on film actually looked better than their pictures. Same thing with Evan, to be honest. But let's move on to this little triangle that we have been presented. So the first person we're going to be talking about is Devin. Now, Devin he did say that he tends to go for something that or similar to himself. So, common traits or common interests usually is something that captures him. So he's a basketball coach and a basketball youth director. I don't really know what that means. If somebody knows, please comment down below. I'm guessing that he is, I don't know. I'm not even going to attempt to know what that means. But anyways, he is a basketball coach and he is quite a pleasant character. He seems to be very down to earth. He seems to be very grounded, and he seems to be like kind of fun person to be around. And I kind of enjoy that about him. I do think the fact that he's 29, and I did get a bit of immaturity from him. I don't know. This may be premature, but I did get a little bit of immaturity vibes from him, but who knows? But he seems pretty pleasant at the moment. I did feel like there was a stronger connection between him and Brittany. They did have a lot in common. They seemed to like the same things. And the fact that they both listen to gospels, they really related in that. And the fact that they both are so into basketball, the game itself. She was a coach herself, and they were making jokes as like, oh, we're going to make this a basketball in love thing. That was kind of cute. And the connection kept me smiling. And I don't know if it's a bias thing because I'm Black. I am so sorry. But it was so refreshing to see like a little flirt going on. And I really enjoyed their connection. So I did see that they had a better connection than Devin. And Virginia I do believe that she is very grown. I do not think that her and Devin actually fit. I think that he is, I don't want to say a downgrade, guys, because he comes across as a really nice guy. I do not want to, so I don't want to use that word, but I do feel like she needs to find somebody that is equally yoked to her. I do think that it could turn out to be a power struggle, or that he might end up feeling a little bit like he is not enough in the relationship if it goes forward. Now, I think that she will have expectations, in the relationship that he might not be able to meet or might feel a little bit insecure about. I think that she's gorgeous, and I just don't think that they really fit well together. Now, based on the trailer, they will be, I think that they're actually the ones that are going to end up together, and I think Brittany is not going to be chosen. Now, I'm not saying that Brittany fits better. I do think that Brittany also needs to find somebody who's equally yoked to her. I think that she's such a successful babe. She's gorgeous, she's intelligent, and I just feel like, again, not a downgrade, but I feel like she needs somebody who's a bit more mature than Devin. That is it. I don't really find, but I think that Devin is a really nice guy. Don't get me wrong. I just feel like maturity wise, I don't think that he is there yet. And that is what I'm lacking. And that's what I think, that he doesn't really fit with either lady. Think that they both need somebody who is a little bit more mature than Devin. Anyways, so moving on to the next couple, or our next little trio here that we have here. Guys, I'm just looking at the names. Is Madison, actually this is a foursome, by the way, is Mason, Meg, and the fourth person would be Alex. Now, this was a very interesting dynamic, to be honest. I kind of was very excited to talk about this dynamic because I think that there is more here that can be analyzed for days on end. I think that Alex, like if we take Alex and Mason to start off, I think that Mason, it comes across as he's not trying. There's no real effort made from his part. I feel like he's just there and he is really just like keeping the conversations going. I don't think that there is any genuine interest in getting to know the ladies on a deeper level, at least from what he's asking, based on the questions that he's asking. Now, guys, it might be that he's probably asking some real deep questions and we just don't get to see it. But based on the questions that he has been asking, I've just like checked out. I'm just like, really? You're here to make connections, and those are the type of questions that you're asking? Like, seriously? But anyways, I digress. It could be that it was just an edit, but I'm not getting a really good impression off of Mason. I think that he is not serious, and I don't think that he's here for genuine reasons. I think that he is enjoying the attention that he's getting from both girls, and he really wants to make this into a three-way fight, or where he gets to choose the girl, where he gets to be like, everybody wants me or whatever. That's the impression that I'm getting from him. Now, again, oh my word, that girl was thirsty. Madison, the fact that she had this conversation where she started describing, he was like, you like this type of game where we describe what we have on? And he was like, yeah. And she starts describing what she has on, which is a really sexy outfit. And she doesn't even ask him what he's wearing, right? She just I'm here to present myself and that's it. And you take it or leave it. If you like it, I'm here to put some spice into this. And she starts twerking and she starts it starts getting a little bit on the phone sex side of things. Things start getting really heated and flirtatious, which is quite interesting to watch, to say the least. I don't know, because she did actually mention that sex is quite an important part of a relationship, for her at least. And Mason seems to be someone who is definitely enjoying that and definitely agrees with that. Now, on the other hand, Mason and Meg, I think that Meg, initially, the first conversation that they had, she was just blurting. I mean, she was just going on a rampage. And I don't know if it's because of the edit or what it was, but it was nonstop rambling, going from one topic to another, just jumping from topic to topic nonstop. And it was so hard to keep up. Like one minute she's talking about aliens, another minute she's talking about, I don't know, I think it was like about like a word I don't even remember, but it was like all over the place. I it was just like topic jump from one end to another, and I could not keep up at all. So I was a bit like thrown off by her at first, and I was just like, what the hell is going on? And maybe she might have been nervous. We don't know that. It is a stressful situation. It is something that we ourselves, if we were put in that situation, we would be very hard regardless. And you have a camera flashing at your face. It is not that easy. You just go on a rampage. You start rambling sometimes. So I kind of understood that. And at some point, this as it progressed, it started getting a little bit better. We started to get to know her a little bit more. She likes being goofy, and she definitely appreciates that in a partner, the ability to be just, silly together and fun and make things our everyday fun. Now, as we moved on, she did mention that, oh my word, I actually thought that you were going to ask me something more deeper. And I agreed with her, was asking some really silly ass questions. He was not going deep. He had no interest in getting to know these people on a deeper level. He was just basically keeping everything surface level. Like, what is your pet names? What are how do you dress? What is your favorite costume to dress in on Halloween? I mean, it was all over the place. I have no faith in Mason, basically. I think that he is not here for genuine reasons. I'm sorry. He comes across as somebody that loves female attention, that is here for the fame. Now, let's get down to my favorite connection. And I definitely put my heads down for this guy, Alex and Madison. Now, at first, I really love the connection. I really love the fact that, the fact that she said this, she did mention in her little bio that she was looking for someone who is emotionally intelligent. And I think that is exactly what she got in Alex. But holiness, this couple, they had a lot in common. They both come from a very troubled background. Now, Madison has had a history in her family of, drug abuse and just a lot of trauma that has happened, drinking, drugs that has happened in her childhood. And she has had to go through so much. And of course, I definitely feel for her, because that is not easy. And the fact that she has had to go through that and has built bridges and walls to protect herself, to build the person that she is today is not easy. And I do understand that there will be some, how can I say this, defense mechanisms put in place to protect herself from being hurt or from the situations that she's being introduced to at such a early age. Now, I do really appreciate how honest and open she was. I think that is really commendable. I think that the fact that she has come out of there on the other side is quite impressive as well. So one thing that I definitely really enjoyed about this couple was just the fact that there was some genuine understanding and relatability on both ends. I do think that there was a bit of trauma bonding, but I think that for the most part, they really did understand each other. And on Alex's side, you have someone who grew up not really being good at school. He fell behind because of his struggles with how do you say that? HD, never mind. But you get what I'm trying to say. Anyways, so I think that with having such a struggle with that, not being able to really do well in school, struggling because of, your ability and not really something that you have chosen. It's just something that was innate to you, and that inability to really perform. And on the other hand, having your parents treat you the way that they treated him, kicking him out of the house. It was such a sad story to listen to. And I feel so bad for both of them. I mean, like both Alex and Madison, for having to endure that and having to go through that at such a young age. And Alex being bullied through high school, through middle school, that was so horrible. You do not understand the impact bullying has on people. And if you see someone being bullied, do not hesitate to either intervene or to actually get an adult involved in the situation, because it is not easy. And you can see that Alex has become very guarded because of that, because you could definitely see that in his personality. And when they start talking more about the attachment styles and that he has actually dated a lot of people with a similar background as him, who had similar struggles and who have a similar attachment style to medicine, I was actually a little bit saddened for him, because I think that we are easily pulled back to our comfort zone, what we are used to and what we have been our patterns. So that was a bit sad, to be honest, and it was quite hard to really put into words. And I think that he's a very reflective person. And I think that is exactly what she wanted, or what she was asking for, is an emotionally intelligent man. And he's definitely that. I have a whole newfound of respect for Alex than I had before. I think that he's very mature, but I do also think that there is a lot that he still has to work on, because of the fact that, he recognized that, this might be toxic if we were to get into a relationship, because he has been in a relationship with a woman with similar traits as her, someone who is an avoidant, someone who is very guarded, who is someone that, like her, who, like Madison, who has been through so much, who can also come across as jaded. Or I've seen that, I've been through that, and sometimes just puts a wall up. Oh, I don't want to deal with this kind of personality. So as she said herself, this is not my problem. I'm walking away. I think that he recognizes that. I have seen some people online have been saying that he might be a prude or a virgin because he didn't want to talk about the sex part. But I think that the reason why he actually held back is more because of the fact that he could recognize, the bad patterns that he was going to repeat with Madison, meaning her personality and attachment style, because that's what he said. He has to contemplate and think about that. And at the same time, I do think that he's so guarded, he's become so guarded, it could hold him back, because people are not the same. Medicine is not the same person as your ex. The fact that your ex cheated on you and had a similar attachment style to Madison does not mean that that is the outcome that will happen. I don't think that is, but I do understand where he's coming from. And I also, after all of that with Mason and Madison, I do see that Madison is not the right girl for him. I think that they just would not work out. I think that there would be some toxicity, and I think that they will definitely not be able to make it as a couple. So I can definitely see why he was hesitant. I'm probably did not explain this in the right way, but I hope that you guys understood it, that I think that both of them are, even though he said that he didn't want to date someone who is unhealed, but I also don't think that he recognizes it in himself, that he himself is not completely healed yet. I think that he is still struggling with his traumas, and I feel like he is become very guarded, very protective of himself, and he doesn't want to go through that. I understand that it is painful, but love is a risk in itself, and that you shouldn't place everybody in the same label or same bubble as your previous exes or what you have experienced before, because who knows? She could be a completely different person, surprise him. They could actually get married and live happily ever after. You don't know that. So I think that it is, while it's good to recognize your limits and have standards, and to recognize that this is a red flag and I need to step away, think about it, and possibly come back to it. But I also believe that it also is a hindrance in love, that you're not willing to take the risk and recognize that not everybody is the same or as everybody that you've experienced bad relationships with. And I think that that's something that is quite common with this cast. I think that Virginia mentioned it herself, that she's never dated a nice guy. And that is really sad. because there are nice guys out there. You just don't give them a chance. And most of them are overlooked for a better, more masculine, more toxic male. So I think that a lot of people, it's good that people are recognizing it, that there is a pattern and they have to break it. But I also do not want anybody to, as we saw with Jackie, resent the other person because they don't measure up with to what, or compare them to what they previously had, and then resent the partner, the new partner, the nice guy, because they can't measure up to the bad guys and the guys that they're used to. So that was kind of like, where do we go from here? I think that it is right. I think that they should just cut it off and just walk away when it comes to Madison and Alex. I don't think that she should go for Mason either. I do not believe that. I think that is a crime waiting to happen. I don't trust Mason completely. I think that there is a hidden agenda with him, and very skeptical about that guy. But we will see. I don't know what's going to happen towards the other episodes or the upcoming episodes. I can't wait to watch it today. So I'm definitely going to keep you guys up to date regarding that. So our next couple that we're moving on to, or trio that we're moving on to, is Lauren, Dave, and Molly. Now, my first impression of Dave was horrible. I mean, when she said that so I'm 30, and he was like, oh, so that means that you're unattractive. Lord, I wanted to get into that screen and punch him as hard as possible. I'm 30 myself, and that does not mean that I'm a dead fish just because of the fact that I'm 30 now. That was just a bit disrespectful. And quite frankly, I don't care if it was a joke, but it was just wrong, wrong, wrong. Now, I understand that coming from someone else to be a joke, but coming from Dave, someone who is self-proclaimed to be a shallow, selfish person, I'm sorry. There is some truth to that. I think that he is being honest. And Lauren, you should be perking up those ears, girl. You should be listening to those red flags that are like jumping at your face right now. That guy is a salesman all around. He is trying to sell you an image that is not there, does not exist. I mean, he was saying the same things. And I've noticed it with Mason as well. He was pretty much selling the same product to Madison and Meg. And the same thing with Dave. He was telling Lauren, oh, I have feelings for you. Well, then going to Molly and be like, you're my number one. I definitely like you, Molly. And I was just like, really, sir? Really? Oh my word, Dave. Where do I start with him? Now, he did mention that he comes from a very balanced and very healthy, just basic, regular white guy, like family upbringing, the regulars. And then he mentioned that he is someone who is also working on himself. But I'm sorry, that guy is giving off arrogant. I'm struggling to find one positive thing to say about this guy. I'm like scratching my head, trying to figure out if there's anything positive to say about this guy, and I cannot. I genuinely did enjoy the conversations he had with Lauren. I think that she is ignoring the red flags here. I do think that she is someone who is also at the same time a little bit naive. I think that she wants to give him the benefit of the doubt, but at the same time, if you know a salesman, you know that this guy is selling a product. An image, a false image that does not exist. Now, it's quite sad because I think that Lauren could actually be a very healthy relationship for him. I think that she knows what she wants. She's someone who's mature. She's someone who could actually help him grow. I think that she was very receptive towards him and just, got him to open up. She asks the right questions. She actually is going deep. She's giving off that I care and I want to get to know you vibe, while he is like, I'm going to tell you what you want to hear. And he even said, there's not a wrong, or a mean bone in your body. And I was just like, ooh, Lauren, you look like you're someone that he's willing to step over. And I'm praying that I'm wrong in this, but you need to listen to those red flags and run, because I noticed that the conversations he was having with Molly were more vulgar. I don't want to say more genuine, but it was more, you could see the real Dave coming out with Molly. He was more open. And he actually mentioned and was honest to her that he did actually cheat before. So he never said that to Lauren. Or we never saw it, probably edited out. But I feel like he is more himself. He's more guarded and more like keeps to himself a bit more with Lauren. Feel like he comes across as very respectful towards Lauren. The fact that she is quite a sweet girl, and you saw, I mean, the comments that he made. Oh, so you have a little party girl in you, Lauren. I think that he definitely is selling a product to her. Now with Molly, I think that he knows that he's used to that. And he even said it, your voice reminds me of my first girlfriend or my high school sweetheart. So I definitely understand that this guy is just not it. I think that he's a waste of time. I think that he needs still to do some growing here. I think that the fact that he is, at the start of his business career, he's building something. He is someone who's still trying to really like cement himself. That guy is not ready for marriage. He does not know what it really entails. He doesn't understand it fully. I think that he is still in the field trying to play the field. And that is really sad. I think that Molly's falling for it. And I think that he's playing Molly like a fiddle. I think that when they went deeper into that sex conversation, I think that she did give off a little bit of uncomfortable vibes. I don't know if she's fully comfortable talking about this, whether it's on TV or whether it is towards him. I don't know, but she was giving a little uncomfy vibes. But all in all, Dave was a mess, untrustworthy, salesman, not it, not impressed, nada. Now, in conclusion, I'm going to keep this short because this video was hella long. I am disappointed with the cast in terms of what we're getting this season. I think I did actually go and see how many episodes there are in total. They did show that it was 13 episodes, which usually means less episodes, less marriages. I'm sorry, guys, if that was a spoiler, but that's what it means. Now, I did see based on the trailer that there was going to be a lot of drama this season, but I am very disappointed with the men in general. I think Devin comes across and Alex give me a little bit of hope. Joey gives me hope too, but I feel like we haven't really seen the real Joey, if you know what I mean. I feel like we are yet to find out a little bit more of who Joey really is. He did call himself as a golden retriever, all around happy, bubbly guy, but who is Joey when he's sad? Who is Joey when he's angry? Who is Joey when he's upset or annoyed? I want to know. And Devin came across as a really nice guy. I definitely have a lot of hope and I'm supporting this guy. I did say that he does come across as a little bit immature, but I'm hoping that I'm wrong. Please prove me wrong, Devin. And I definitely want to support him in his relationships. And Alex, I'm hoping that there's a girl out there for you, but because you're so guarded, boo, I don't know. I feel like you need to take some more time and really release a little bit to get off your head. I feel like he's in his head a lot. He analyzes too much. He just, he takes things apart and he is an overthinker to me. He comes across as an overthinker and that could be quite exhausting and quite, how can I say this, overwhelming in a relationship. So all in all, very disappointing cast in terms of the males. I hope that I'm wrong, but there was not one couple that had me rooting for them. I was not rooting for any of these connections. I didn't feel any chemistries. I didn't feel any loves. It was only Brittany and Devin where I was like literally genuinely smiling and like, oh, feeling the feels a little bit. But other than that, the rest were a mess, disappointment. Okay, guys, we're going to end it here. And I want to thank you guys for taking the time to actually listen to this. And don't forget to subscribe, and comment your thoughts below. And I cannot wait to see you guys on my next video. And I'm hoping that it is a little bit eventful. So you guys.